All right. We are live.
Hello, welcome to another Haystack office hours. A bit unusual this time because we used to host them on our Discord community, uh, but we decided to go broad this time and just stream it everywhere else. So no matter if you watch us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or X, uh, you are really welcome here. Feel free to ask any questions during the live stream today. We'll try to answer as many as possible. I can already see we have some people on YouTube. Really nice to have you. And well, these office hours are actually all about Haystack version 3. If you've started building your project with version 3, consider migrating from the previous versions, or just want to discuss what's new in the latest release, that's the best place. And we'll start with a short introduction of all the topics that we brought into the new version. But before we start, let's maybe just do like a short introduction because maybe there are some new people that haven't really had a chance to talk to us before. Bilge, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. It's Bilge here. I'm working on DevRel at DeepSet, the company behind Haystack, and I'm working at this company at DeepSet for almost 4 years now. So it has been lots of fun to be with you, to work with the community, to work with open source. So I'm also quite excited that we started these live streams and office hours right now, and it's our first time doing like live stream on LinkedIn and X as well. So I was also checking if everything looks fine, and it looks like we are live without any problems on every platform. So I will be looking forward to getting your questions and answering them live here in this live stream. On to you, Casper.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, I'm Casper, and actually, my 6 months at DeepSet has just passed. I'm really grateful to be here. It's a nice project and nice community. I'm working together with Bilge and the DevRel team. So you have probably interacted with us if you have ever commented on any LinkedIn posts or our Discord community. And we are actually the people that you might be asking questions regarding the latest release or how to implement something with Haystack. And today's session is all about Haystack version 3. Let me just start with a short summary of the launch week that we had just 2 weeks ago, because the launch week, that's something that we did for the first time, right? Okay. It was our first launch week.
Yes, exactly. It was our first
Yes.
time doing a full week of updates.
Yeah, and it was such a nice experience because we are able to just emphasize the most prominent changes done in the new release, and shared something that we personally found useful. I have some personal favorites in the new release, so probably I will just talk a little bit more about them. So the launch week was really focused on the most important changes, but obviously Haystack version 3 was a chance for us to reduce the entire package quite significantly. We decided to move some of the migrations to separate packages. So surprisingly, if you just have a look at the summary of changes, you will see that we have 32 fewer lines of code and still quite a lot of new features and improvements done, especially related to how to build agents with Haystack. Uh, it's not surprising that the module containing the agent was the most changed one in the current version. And Haystack 3 brings first class support for skills, agent hooks at every single stage, and just a thinner framework in general. And that was the main highlight for the first day of the launch week. And then we were just presenting you some extra things. Um, so the first day, Monday, 20th of July, was all about making Haystack like agentic framework by default. It's quite a common belief that Haystack is all about retrieval augmented generation or pipelines. And for many of people that I actually at least interacted with, it was more that they were seeing us as a mature tool to use when it comes to building this kind of pipelines using LLMs somewhere in between, but not that much when it comes to building real agents. So definitely that's something that we wanted to improve and position ourselves as an agentic framework first. That's where industry is heading. And version 3 is actually a great opportunity to just make the agentic experience even easier and more user friendly than it was before. If you are still using version 2, an upgrade is quite easy. You can achieve that by just upgrading the package itself. And obviously, migrating the code from version 2 to version 3 may require some changes in the imports and the parameters. Obviously, feel free to do it yourself, but we also created a skill that you can connect to any agent harness that you prefer, like Cloud Code or Codex, and then it is going to perform the migration on your behalf easily. So you can migrate an existing Haystack application in no time. In the second day, we are presenting you hooks and how to use them to create something like budget control. Hooks allow you to call a specific piece of code function that's like on every stage that you wanted to. So, for example, before the LLM is called, before the tool is called, or after the agent run. So you can just control multiple aspects and, for example, decide that a particular tool cannot be called based on some extra criteria, or maybe that it requires human in the loop, which is currently also controlled by hooks. On the third day, we are presenting something which is also not in the core, but a little bit aside, which is a set of pre-configured agents covering the most popular needs. For example, Deep Research Agent, which was created by our engineering team, that actually provides you with a default configuration to build a research agent over your data that can spawn multiple agents and coordinate the communication between them. There is also an advanced RAG agent. So instead of just setting up the entire agent with all the tools, hooks, and skills yourself, you can just call create deep research agent function from the agent pack and then use as it is, or just use it to build something on top of it. Extend with your own logic that it's needed for a particular use case. You can also play with the models and just swap them with something with a different provider. That's something that Haystack was pretty well known for quite a long time. That you can just build this composable pipelines and agents quite easily and swap the components whenever needed. The fourth day, it was a tutorial or a cookbook presenting how to use skills and how to combine them with some extra tools, custom tools that you build. Haystack does not provide you a bash tool by default, so there is no way for the agent to interact with your computer directly. But that's something that you can easily build yourself and extend the set of tools that the agent can use. There are also some existing integrations covering that, but we specifically don't want to incorporate that into core because obviously calling any arbitrary code comes with some possible threats. And but in that cookbook, we presented how to achieve exactly this, and we combined that with a caveman skill that I'm personally a big fan of, which is just changing the way your LLM is interacting with you. So instead of having all this extra words, it just starts talking as a actual caveman. Do not consider grammar too much, and just make sure that the message is passed, but in a slightly different way to save on tokens. Might be interesting for if you work on a project with specific budget constraints. I personally use it on my daily basis just to make sure I don't need to read, oh, that's a great idea, multiple times a day. Really encourage to use that. We combine that with computer use, and it significantly saves on the number of tokens used. And the last day was a pretty complex application, not only using Haystack but also Hooks, which is another project of DeepSet that allows you to deploy your pipelines and agents in an easy way. This is the standard tool that we recommend to use if you wanna build a production application. So in this demo, we presented how to use human in the loop, but not in the terminal app, but as a part of the OpenWave UI that was used as an interface to interact with the agent. I know we also did some attempts to put that into Slack, so you could easily interact with your Haystack agents with Slack interface, which is probably quite convenient. Like I can imagine, like most of us use Slack on our daily basis, and this is actually pretty cool because that clearly shows how to build something which is not gonna be like another demo application in the terminal, but something that might be used by the end less technical user of your applications. And all of these examples are available on our website. If you just check out the launch week page, they are still listed. There are also some extra YouTube materials if you just look at our YouTube channel. So if that got your interest, feel free to jump into our website and see a particular one that you are most interested in. And coming back to the migration, because I can imagine many of you may have already used version 2 to build your applications. And if you consider migration, there are not too many breaking changes. We were trying to keep the version 3 as much compatible as possible with the previous versions. But obviously, there are some changes, and the good old way would be just to reach the migration guide and perform the migration yourself. But obviously, the way we create applications has changed significantly in the last few months. And right now, many of the work is done by the coding agents. That's why we decided to create this extra skill, so it can just pack all the knowledge of the open source team to seamlessly port your application from version 2 to version 3. So you don't need to spend several days on that, but it might be done within minutes or hours. This QR code points you to the page where you can just put your email address to get the skill back. Feel free to let us know your experiences. Obviously, coding agents are not deterministic. We just tested that on several applications that we did. And if you have any thoughts, feel free to reach out to us. Happy to see what are the applications that you might be migrating to the newest release. Let me also use this live stream as a chance to promote our ambassador program. We just started with the first cohort recently, and the ambassador program is actually our way to make sure the Haystack community members who are really active are even more visible. So if you are a regular Haystack user and would like your work to be even more, promoted even more, feel free to apply to the program. This QR code points you to the ambassador page on our website. And our ambassadors are people who are really experienced in Haystack, who contributed by just creating some pull requests into the library or some integrations around, but also people who are so active in our Discord community that we decided to include them because we really wanted to highlight their work that they do for the community. And we have a special guest today that hopefully will share some thoughts on the latest release of Haystack. Sriniket has created a repository that I really encourage you to have a look at, trying to explore the different features that version 3 brought to all of us. So Sriniket, Would love to hear your thoughts about the latest release. If you would like to present your project, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Casper. Thanks, Bilge. So, hi everyone. So, myself, Shinke. I'm glad to be a part of the Haystack Ambassadors program launched recently. So, yeah, let me just dig deep into what I have explored from the latest release. Yes, sharing my screen. Yes, I guess my screen is visible if I'm not wrong. Yeah, yeah, I'm just hoping it's visible. Yeah, let me just get started. So yeah, so you can check out this repository. So this is the repository. I'll tag it to the chat as well later on, and this is where I have been trying to create use cases around the latest release, what has been made. So you can jump into the README, and then you can do the setup. Let me just go to the source and see. Like there are four use cases, which helps you to get started with understanding the latest advancements made to V3. So let me just give a brief on each of them. So starting with one of them being agent skills. So currently, Casper also mentioned that we can directly use the agent skills as and expose it to Haystack. Yes, and that's a cool thing. And I'm here currently. I'm trying to uh, use Haystack skill itself. Okay, so this is the Haystack skill. It is hosted here, and I'm just ensuring it to be available to the agent, and then try to generate some content out of it. Or so if you see here, the setup is like simple. npx skills add. You'll be able to add the skills to the right directory. You can follow the PUI, and then you'll be able to find the skill.md, which contains a lot of skill about the haystack tool. Now let me just go back to the folder, and you see here I'm just giving the path. I'm just providing ensuring the skill is available, and if you see here I'm just printing which skills are available though. So I'm just exposing currently haystack only. So if you see here, yeah, and I'm just asking this question to the agent straightforward: how to create a simple indexing pipeline. And tada, it doesn't give you any random stuff, but it gives something which it knows about from the skill, and it's nothing but an haystack skill. And we see here it's doing the right imports, and this gives you the code and ready to plug in and play. So you can use this architecture to ask questions about haystack itself or whatever skills you're currently having, and then get started from there. So that's a cool thing. And one more best thing I like about any of the agent function itself is there is something called generators in Haystack, where you can pass in any LLM generators like OpenAI, Go here. So many are there. So many generators are available, and the default being the OpenAI. And I have exhausted my credits a lot. I don't want to spend more. I like Cohere, so I can just use this Cohere generator here and replace it. And tada, I'm all set. And this is the best thing about Agent. It's highly customizable, and that's the best thing about the way the library or this class is built upon. And the only tool I'm passing is the skills tool, which has this skills directory. And yeah, that's how it works. And if you see here, this is one of the runs which I had done previously. Yeah, so that's very cool thing about the skills. That's how it works. And one of the another important thing was the research agent, which is available out of the box. So if you see this is available under the haystack integrations.agent pack. So feel free to follow the readme. It also has the steps to what all needs to install. So that covers the part, and you can just go back to yeah. So and then you can just call this deep research agent, and then you have a lot of LLMs that are called internally, though not exposed to you by directly. It's all happening under the loop, under the hood. You don't need to worry much. One, you can just pass the generator, and if you just feel how this generator looks like, it's nothing but just calling the quest already built-in generator. It's just a straightforward thing, and I just don't want to use the OpenAI thing. I'm just calling this one. So feel free to use any generators, and yeah, and you can just configure a lot of stuff like what is the maximum number of concurrent researchers based on your like what do you call, if let's say if your device is slow, you can just make it to keep it to one, and up to you, you can just change it and then ask questions where you can just go and fetch details from the browser, what are the latest trends in agentic AI, and you will get an output similarly, not the same, but a similar output where it goes around, fetches a lot of details from the Google Chrome. It uses Tabily under the hood, and it does a lot of stuff. And finally, you will be getting an formatted output in a Markdown format. So that is, and one more best thing is it attributes the sources as well. So yeah, so it just goes on. So just responses from here, it goes ahead and fetches the top 10 results and gives you a perfect answer. Yeah, so that's another cool thing. And the third thing is hook driven agent. So most has been everyone's favorite, and I have tried to use it more, try to make a Linux what do you call Linux troubleshooting agent. Let's say you have exposed your harness to this agent and you want to troubleshoot any Linux bugs, and you don't want to type your any Linux commands. I know Linux commands are hard to remember, there are so many. So that's a cool thing which I've tried to establish, is like you just give it a problem. So check the free space left in my device. It's a simple problem, but still it just asks me different things, like I'm just making sure the granularity is given to the user rather than the agent. So basically it's up to you to decide the granularity, like you trust agent. So go ahead, everything runs automatically. You need to confirm whether this command is good or not. It's up to you. Or if it's auto mode, just confirmation for each and every step, even for the thoughts. So that's even more cooler. So if you can just tell, okay, you're not thinking in the right direction, go ahead and change your thought. So that's even more cooler. So these are the three ways you can control the current execution or the current run. And I say, okay, I would give this problem. So set the free space left in my device. It says I would like to run this command df. It's still fine. It should give the output. I just told I want to modify it df-mh. Reason being it's human readable and in short format. So you see here the output here. It just gives the output, and I verified it through this. Verified it by running it from the host as well. It works fine, and I just given the this one is using the uh, like what do you call an a mode, auto mode, meaning every step, each and every thing. See here, we just tell agent wants to think of fancy's next move. I'd say yes, go ahead, yeah, and then it runs the command. So if you don't want, you can just stop it, and up to you to decide how granular it is. And this contains I have given the outputs of different runs for all the different things, and you can just explore how cool it is to implement this here. Yeah, and one final thing, the monitor cost. Yeah, it's a very small thing, but I have tried to given it. I mean, the use cases are plenty here, but I wanted to just show how good it is, or what it actually gives us, and to show that I think this is the simplest example I could think of, and I had given this. So basically, I give this a command, uh, create an agent, give it the cohere generator, and give it the tool's word count. So it just counts returns the number of words in the sentence or text, whatever I provide. So let's say I give count words in hello there. So answer should be 2. I get it 2. So okay, so there are 2 words in the text. Okay, that's correct. And total tool calls, that is 1. Then step count, 2 steps. So basically it should have been calling the agent and calling the tool. So there are 2 steps. And the token usage are for how much tokens it has used to generate this output. So it says it took 86 prompt tokens. I just gave very few count words in hello there. Should it take 86? Probably not, but definitely under the hood, Haystack has its own still just prompts it still more better, and that adds up this to the prompt tokens. You can just take the implementation of agent. You will be able to find that out. And similarly for completion tokens, there are 2 words in the text, almost adds up to 34, and you can easily control how you can see how many um, tokens are used, and you can monitor the cost from this agentic from the current run of the agent execution. So these are the multiple use cases I have explored, and this is available as a blog as well, blog series as well. So I'll just try to link it. So it has, I just go still deeper into each and every to the execution or the implementation of whatever has been developed. So slight under the hood implementation deep dive is also there. Yes, and yeah, I think I
Lovely.
have.
Thank you, Sriniket. Feel free to just send a link to the blog series on YouTube, probably. And yeah, these extra tokens were probably created by the tools definitions that we are sending to the LLM, because obviously that's something that you need to provide, so we can just choose the tool to call. Thank you, Sriniket. That was great to see. And this is actually a time for questions, and also for some suggestions or feedback if you happen to use version 3 already. For example, this agent pack, currently we have this deep research agent and advanced track. But if you see a need for something else, or you are looking for recommendations of how to structure your agent to achieve certain thing, feel free to let us know. We are still working on expanding that set of pre-configured agents just to make your life easier. If you want to create a specific application, we are open for suggestions. And we have some questions already. The first question is actually about the Haystack 2, if it's going to be continuously supported for non-agentic workflows, or whether everything should be migrated. So if you're already running Haystack 2 in production, you don't need to upgrade immediately. And version 2 is gonna will keep receiving security patches, bug fixes until the end of October 2026. But having that said, version 3 is also attempting to be as backward compatible as possible. So there are obviously some breaking changes, but not too many. So I really encourage you to switch to the latest release just to get the updates. Obviously, version 3 might be still running if you have a workflow that runs on that particular version and you are happy with that. It's perfectly fine to be used. But please keep that in mind. That it will not get any security patches after October. So we have a deadline.
And something that I can add here is that the integrations are also compatible with version 3. So if you're using an integration, feel free to keep on using them. There's no migration needed for them. And yeah, so like we shared lots of examples around agents, but if you want to keep on using Haystack for your deterministic workflows, you can also keep on using version 3. We will, like, the pipelines and the components are the core of Haystack or open source since the beginning, and they will keep on staying like that. But we also wanted to give you built-in components and built-in agents for specific use cases. That's the reason why we always like push so many agentic contexts. But you will notice that if you check the documentation, there's still like lots of new components that you can use in your RAG applications for indexing documents and so many other use cases as well.
Perfect. I also wanted to show the release notes. They're pretty long this time. Like, a lot of changes has been made, but this is a good resource to just scream to see what you are actually getting if you decide to switch to version 3. Yeah, we are not getting rid of the good old pipelines. We're just expanding on agentic stuff, but pipelines are gonna be still maintained, and you can definitely rely on the version 3 on that matter. There is also another question. How does Haystack share data across agents? So there isn't like a built-in mechanism. Obviously, an agent can spawn a new agent and then pass an initial context of that new one. But typically, if you need to share any data between multiple agents or maybe multiple agent runs, there has to be a different system, like a document store or a memory store that you will just interact with using tools. Agents have tools, and these tools can just call external systems to store some information and to retrieve some information later when needed. So this is our preferred way of how this should be achieved, and it really depends on your preferences. We try to be as agnostic as possible, and our document stores might be used to interact with different systems like vector databases, SQL databases. Most recently, we also brought some integrations for systems allowing you to integrate with S3, for example, and some different applications around. So if you already have a running system with multiple building blocks, you can probably just connect dots and connect to the same databases using using a Haystack application. And that really depends on the type of the information you want to pass between the agents. Document stores and memory stores are probably the most popular choices here.
I will have a different approach here. I don't know what they mean exactly, like sharing data across agents, but maybe the state can be the answer to that. So if imagine you're implementing this multi-agentic system by passing an agent as a tool to the main agent, and the state of the main agent can be your way to share this data across these sub-agents. Of course, you need to define what type of data you want to store, and you need to organize the tools and the results coming from the tools accordingly. But it's already possible, of course, like sharing information between those sub-agents in one, like during runtime, because like agents right now, they don't have this built-in long-term memory unless you connect it to a memory store. But if there's a use case for you to implement this multi-agentic system and use different sub-agents for that one query, you can easily share this information through agent state without incorporating any memory or data store. So if this is something that you're looking for, maybe this can be also an option for you. So I don't know exactly what they refer. So that I wanted to also share this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you, Bilge. That's really helpful, right? Actually, if you want to do this in a multi-agent system where actually agents are spawned by each other, that might be the preferred way.
I see another question. Let me put that onto the stage. So I think like this is a question regarding like integration packages. The schema, for example, the FICE integration FICE document store remains the same, so it hasn't changed. So if maybe like something that I can already say that if an integration is maintained by DeepSet, and if you go to Haystack Integrations website, you'll see the DeepSet logo on some of the integrations. You can also filter them according to that. So if an integration is maintained by DeepSet, that is 100% for sure that it's version 3 compatible. But if this is a community integration or maintained by the other tool owners, then you need to check that. But if you go through the list of breaking changes in the migration guide, you'll notice that there are not so many big breaking changes. And like I can say that for FICE document store, I haven't checked it, but I give it a 95% of chance that it's already compatible. So nothing has changed, so you can easily migrate. But if you have a concern, maybe you can run the Haystack migration skill over the integration code and double check that with the agent so that it's compatible already. I hope that answers your question.
There's also another question.
Yeah, let's go.
Twice. Let me see if there is a difference because someone has just put it twice. Yeah, I'm just going to take one of these. can I build parallel and sequential workflows in Haystack? How different is building workflows in Haystack to Google ADK or LangGraph? Obviously, pipeline, this is how we call a sequential workflow. So in pipeline, you define a list of steps, obviously with some branching possible, that's going to be taken to perform to like call a specific process. And there is also an agent. An agent is less deterministic. An agent can actually choose a tool that is right to achieve a certain goal. And here, it's not sequential anymore because the path that leads you to achieve a certain goal might be different each time you call it. And when it comes to parallel workflows, it's actually an agent can call multiple tools at a time. So they will be actually launched in parallel. So that means it can actually spawn multiple sub agents, for example. So yeah, there is like parallel execution. So I would say it's a question if you need a pipeline for sequential stuff or an agent for more parallel processing, but both are feasible. And when it comes to Google ADK or LangGraph, I'm not really sure about Google ADK, to be honest. I haven't used it yet. But LangGraph, we have a pretty good comparison between LangGraph and Haystack concepts. So if you have used LangGraph in the past and you consider migrating to Haystack, this is so well described in our documentation. The page itself is called Migrating from LangGraph LangChain to Haystack. And there is a concept mapping section where you can actually see how to achieve the same thing in Haystack versus LangGraph. Unfortunately, can't compare to Google ADK. I would just assume that Google ADK allows you to interact with Google models, and Haystack is agnostic in that matter, and we can actually allow you to use Google models as well as multiple different other providers, including open source models, if that's something that you need to build your project.
Yeah, I put the link to the documentation page to the comments, so if you want to check that. And if you see if something is outdated, feel free to also contribute to this documentation page. AI field moves really, really fast. It's hard to keep stuff up to date. So it's also open for contributions if you have something to add, or if you're also want to see another comparison between other frameworks and Haystack, let us know, and we'll also prepare the page for you. Okay.
Perfect. Let me be. If you still have a question, feel free to use comment section in the platform that you use to watch the live stream. I feel like we have answered all of the questions that you asked so far. So let me use that moment to invite you to join our Discord community. If you go to our website, for example, the release notes, there is a link to join our Discord community in the footer. I feel like we can also send a link here, so you can just join directly. And yeah, that's the easiest way to get some support if you happen to struggle with anything related to Haystack, or whether you just wanted to discuss something related to this field. Yep.
And maybe something that I want to add here is that so we are super excited that we launched Haystack version 3, and I know there's some people like Syndicate already tried Haystack for different purposes. So let us know what you think about version 3, and if you are looking for something specific, let us also know so that we can add it to the roadmap. I'm super excited to share this with the community, and I'm also looking forward to hearing your feedback around version 3. So let us know. You can open an issue on GitHub or send us a message on Discord. We are always here for you to answer your questions and basically help you with your AI journey.
Lovely. Thank you, Bilge. I feel like if there are no other questions, that might be a good time to just wrap it up and close the today's live stream. Let us know if you like this format. If so, I feel like that's not gonna be the last one, and we just need to plan another one pretty soon.
Yeah, and one last thing. If you have a project already with Haystack, and if you want to like share it with the community, let us know, and we can have a spotlight session with you, and again like have a live stream like this. And yeah, you can again reach out to us on Discord or like on GitHub. I'm also active on social media. Casper is also. So you can also reach out to us through those channels and share what you build so that we can also get you up to the stage here. I promise that was the last thing that I want to add.
Cool. Thank you, Bilge. Yep. Great. I feel like if there are no other questions, we can just finish now. That was so great to meet all of you, and hopefully we're gonna be having this office hours more often. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. See you soon.